Okay, so you got a great looking slot car track. You've got it landscaped. You got some really cool scenic elements. And at some point, you probably populated it with a few figures, otherwise known as people. Well, people need places to sit and stand and things to do, so you're probably going to want some furniture at some point. Well, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about a new source I found and show you some stuff that's available out there today. Hey everybody, welcome to Slot Journal. Today I'm going to show you some stuff I got. I got this from Amazon today. We're always looking for things for scenics, parts for our table, for our buildings and accessories and things like that. And there's a lot of cool stuff available out there that you can make. But I came across this. I have a long history of collecting plastic figure kits, like toy soldiers and old play sets. I did it when I was a kid, and I still have some stuff left over. But I came across this on Amazon, and I thought I would get one of these and show you some options you have for parts and pieces and accessories for your buildings, especially in furniture and things, and so you can see what's available out there to you. This is a set of, it says mid-century modern furniture. And this is from BMC Toys. A lot of these things are recasts of accessories that came originally in Marx play sets. And if you're American, you've ever seen Marx play sets, you're of a certain age, you're certainly familiar with those. So that's what these generally are, but they've been recast in new sets. And what you get in these, and these retail for about $15. And they have some different versions of these. I'll show you that. But this one, again, it's like a modern play set, and you'll get a whole bunch of furniture and things that you can use. And you can use these in your buildings and structures that you have. But again, you can see this is, BMC, Classic Army Men, their collector series. And you see there's all kinds of different things. There's one with antique furniture. There's a military base camp, which might not be so useful for a racetrack. This might be cool. There are some interesting things here for if you have an old traditional track like out in the West. I've seen some guys do that. But again, this is the modern furniture version. So let's see what we got here. You'll see a lot of tables and chairs. There's desks. There's file cabinets. There's like a work table. What we got here? There's a thing here with like a cash register, like a counter where you can buy goods. There's another desk with an older typewriter in it. There's another desk here. There's a ping pong table. That's kind of cool. What is this? This is actually a telephone booth, an old-fashioned telephone booth. So depending on your location you're set, that might be handy. See, there's various things here. There's a ladder. There's some benches with some tables here. There's a couple of those, I believe. It's a nice, sign here that you could put outside of a food court or a restaurant. There's like a bookshelf or some other kind of shelf with items on it. This one is a little bit unusual. I'm not sure what that would be. It's like some kind of a control center or something for, maybe that's something at the racetrack. There's another couple benches here. And let's see what else we have here. There's a table. What's that? Another bench with some pads on it. There's another like two-sided work table here. There's a, this would be like a hand truck. You can pull things around. It fits in there somehow. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, there we go. So if somebody's pulling a load around, this I think is a room divider of some kind. Yep. So you could, use that somewhere. And you get an assortment of chairs. There's some other chairs here. This, not quite sure what that is. But you get a nice little assortment of, chairs and other items here, office chairs that you can use. There's another, you see a hand truck there. So there's various items here I think would come in handy. Again, some more benches. So again, there are other options out there. This, some of these would come in pretty handy for a, for your various buildings, whether it's a store or a shop, a race control building, all those kind of things. But again, $15, these things are, pretty much ready to go, although you could certainly take these and paint them any way you want. I think this is actually a revolving door, right? So you could put this in a like a kiosk or an entryway into a racetrack. They get two of those here. It's pretty cool. But again, just wanted to take a minute and show you some the options here that you can use for putting accessories on their track. Again, this is BMC toys. These are available on Amazon. I'll put the links there, both to this one and these two other sets they have. But take a look at them. You can see the parts and pieces that they have available. And for for $15 for things that you don't actually have to build, it's pretty handy. So take a look. Time to answer questions that people might think we actually have the answer to.
Hi, this is Artie from Ann Arbor. I was watching your last video and saw how you used variable voltage power supplies on your slot car track. I guess I was wondering why you would want to do that. I have an electrical engineering degree from the University of Michigan, but I guess I still can't figure it out.
Well, I really appreciate the question, Artie from Ann Arbor. But in any case, it's a good question. Having an adjustable voltage on your 132 slot car power supply does offer some advantages. Now, one is adjustable voltage allows you to use lower voltage, and that can provide some smoother control for beginners or when you're racing delicate cars like those Le Mans miniatures, things like that, or those specialized cars that, cost like $150, $200. You can turn that voltage down and maybe, keeps things a little bit safer for you. And you can turn it up, if you got some real race cars or more experienced racers. Same thing, it's a safety factor for your cars when you have, kids or inexperienced racers, or, if they're using the track, you can lower that voltage down, and that prevents those cars from spinning out or crashing wildly and getting busted into pieces because, kids like to come in and just hold the trigger down all the way and watch the car wreck. You can fine-tune the performance for different cars too. The varying motor characteristics, performance needs. Having adjustable voltage, allows you to tailor the power output to each car, and that can, help you have really good speed and handling. Also, adapting to track conditions can be a little bit helpful there. Like in my basement, things change from season to season. You can have dust on the track. The temperature, my track runs different in the summertime than the wintertime. It gets kind of cool, tires get harder. So being able to compensate for those changes with, adjustable voltage can be a real help there. So overall, having adjustable voltage on your power supply can provide you with greater control, some more flexibility, and some more enjoyment for your racing. So as we all know, it's been a while since I've done a seen and heard segment. So it's time to get back on track. So I just like to talk a little bit about some of the things and people in the slot car family that I've just caught recently. First one is our good friend Ted, aka Slot Car Daddy, who recently has changed the name of his channel to SCD Raceway. That's great. It's fun to change things up a little bit. But what I want to talk about today was I think the 3-part segment he did. What he did is he took one of these classic old school Eldon Ford J cars, which, you know, those things are like a dime a dozen. You can find them out there, but obviously the mechanicals on those cars, they're just, you know, ancient. They're not great runners, you know, but you can still find them, and that body is not hard to find. Nobody's really reproduced it in a modern car. So what Ted did was he went through, you know, took another chassis, put under it, got the stance really well with some new wheels, you know, totally painted the body and came up with something that looks really good. And I think it's something a lot of people could benefit from. So if you haven't seen it, watch that segment, watch those 3 episodes, and maybe give it a try yourself. It's pretty cool what he did, and I really enjoy it. The other person I want to mention is Anthony Bateman Sr. I just caught a couple of his videos, you know, the other night, and I unfortunately haven't been able to watch a lot of his videos previous to that. But Anthony, I was almost mesmerized as Andy just went into, you know, his history of the hobby, how he's got his cars set up. But in the video, he probably spent less than maybe half the time talking about cars. He went into a lot of details about, you know, his life, you know, other things going on in his life, you know, challenges he has, and his, you know, some health problems and other things that, you know, all of us have. And what struck me is, and I guess why I found it so interesting is with Anthony is he's real. And that's something that, you know, a lot of times, especially on YouTube, if you've watched, you know, sometimes that's something that's kind of hard to find. I've seen some videos, you know, there's so many videos out there on, you know, how to do YouTube and all the different changing, you know, approaches to doing YouTube. And one of them that's changed over a while, they used to do a lot of what they call retention editing, you know, a lot of fast editing, jump cuts, fancy stuff, trying to keep people's attention. And the opposite of that, and one of the more popular approaches now is what they call the grandfather approach, where somebody who has some, you know, knowledge and experience, they will just sit and talk to you, just like your buddy. You know, you're sitting, you know, around the house, you're sitting with your friends shooting the shit. And that's how it felt with Anthony. And I really enjoyed watching his videos. You know, he does things his own way, and that's great. You know, he takes his stuff out of the boxes and pitches the boxes. He's got no use for it, and that's fine. But if you have a chance, tune in Anthony, you know, some night. And it's just kind of like, you know, have a beer, sit down, relax, and just listen to Anthony's story and watch him do his thing. And it's really a fun watch. So I wanted to point you in that direction. So check it out. A car. Somebody wants to see a car. Well, okay. Here's a car. Here's one I just picked up. A lot of people are getting these now, but this is a real beauty. You know, I like the Carreras, and this is one that's really a great looking livery with the Carrera Revell logos on there. I like most of my Ferraris red, and this one is at least half red, so that works for me. So that's the new. Let me show you an old. I managed to pick this up a while back, but scale electric. It's a TVR speed. These are really fun little cars. They They run really well. Nice smooth little cars. They're old school, not a lot of magnet, which is typical of the Skeletric of this era. But this little black one, I do have one other one of these, which is like silver and purple, but I found this one to be really, really great looking car. So I'd like to add that one to the stable. But I also want to take a minute, you really help the channel a lot. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Tell some other people about it if you want to help spread the joy of slot car driving and the whole hobby to everybody else. So the more the merrier. Well, that's pretty much it for this episode. I've got some other things coming up. I did tease the other day about this Alpine building I'm trying to get finished up. So I'll have a video on some of the completing elements we've got going in there, including populating with some figures and getting that finished up. The other thing I want to show you is some lighting. I got some track lighting. I did. It's kind of a unique approach. It's a really low cost approach using things you can probably find around your house. So I'm going to put that together too, and we'll have that one up pretty soon. So that's it for today. Again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Get that controller in your hand and let's step on it.